Kia ora koutou, and welcome to this video about astrology from the point of view of Aotearoa, the Southern Hemisphere. And this video is talking specifically about the full moon that's coming up next week on the 14th of July in the sign of Capricorn. My name is Fiona of sunandmooncalendar.nz. So the full moon in Capricorn takes place on Thursday, 14th of July at 6:30 in the morning. And so you might be able to look over to the west and see the moon just about to set at that time, and the sun not quite risen. That will be quite beautiful, I think. And this full moon is actually a super moon, which could intensify the drama because it's closest to Earth, I think, of the whole year, and that means the gravitational pull will be stronger and the effects on our psyches and our emotions will be stronger, and I imagine it will look amazing. So following the full moon moment, it'll be moon set at 8:20 and the sunrise will be at about 10 to 8, and that's the times for whakatū and Nelson around the centre of Aotearoa. So that is how the full moon is placed on the zodiac wheel, with the moon in Capricorn at 21 degrees and 21 minutes and the sun still in Cancer on the opposite side of the chart, because that is what full moon is. It's when the sun and moon are opposite each other and the sun is shining its light on the moon, which reflects it back. So let us look at the energy of Capricorn. The ruling planet of Capricorn is Saturn. So Saturn, not the biggest planet in the solar system, but very, very big and very powerful. And in ancient times, Saturn was the furthest planet that was visible. It's the furthest one visible to the naked eye for the most part. So ruled by Saturn, it's being the outer planet that's visible. It's about boundaries. Saturn is serious and is responsible and dutiful and well organized. It likes to have good, strong, steady, hardworking structures in life. And the element of Capricorn is earth. So Capricorn is a very earthy sign, and it is often associated with mountains, and in fact in ancient times, from Greek times or Babylonian times, it was given the symbol of the goat or the mountain goat that could climb up these mountains slowly and steadily through hard work and discipline. Capricorn likes to build structures for the future one step at a time, very, very practical, very grounded in reality is Capricorn. And the modality of Capricorn is Cardinal. So this goes along with the mountain, is that Capricorn likes to aim towards things and move in a forward direction. Just no shortcuts, doing everything slowly and steadily, properly. And there is also this aspect to Capricorn that is about leaving behind a legacy. If we think of Cancer as about our heritage, our whakapapa even, what we inherit from our families, whereas Capricorn on the other side of the zodiac wheel, this is what we wish to leave behind for future generations. So that's something to think about as you review your life and your structures and organization of life at this full moon. So wherever this full moon falls for you in your life, and you can just notice, there will be some area of life where you will be having a bit of a reality check. And based on that reality check, it's not so much that you're going to dive straight into action because it's going to be the waning moon now. But for 2 weeks, you can just notice what's coming up. Think about those structures and ways of organizing things and your legacy, what you want to leave behind, and reviewing those and thinking about what you might want to change in the future. So the time of the full moon is always about things coming to a culmination point, a completion point, and coming to fruition. And while Capricorn and Saturn are about hard work and discipline, and not very exciting sometimes, and also boundaries and restrictions. There can be rewards that come for doing that hard work, and so some of those rewards might show up with this full moon. So let's have a look at these two opposites of Cancer and Capricorn. Cancer, where the sun is at the moment, is about emotional nuances and sensitivities, the private world of home and family, what is hidden from the public spaces. Whereas Capricorn is all about those public spaces, outer world status, worldly achievements. Capricorn doesn't like to think about emotions too much. Capricorn is practical and realistic and hardworking and gets stuff done. So think about this opposition and how that plays out in your life. Are you comfortable with bringing these two sides together in your life? So what are the other energies going on this full moon? Let's have a look. Okay, there's the lineup, lots going on. So we'll talk about some of these things. The moon itself is quite close to Pluto in retrograde, and that could mean that there's some intensity around power and deep emotions and maybe truths being revealed. Okay, at the same time, Mercury is very close to the sun, and this might mean that some messages come to light with the full moon. An interesting point is that this full moon falls very close, like less than a minute away, to the point of the Saturn Pluto conjunction that happened in January 2020, at the time that all the big changes in the world kicked off with COVID and lockdowns and lots of restrictions on travel and other parts of life. So this could be a time for you to think back to your life since then and think about what has changed and how that has been for you. Venus is square to Neptune at the time of the full moon, and this might mean that there's a little bit of a feeling, a downer feeling of disappointment or disillusionment about love and romance perhaps, and maybe creativity. Just remember that these things pass. And at the same time as that square aspect, there is a trine aspect between Venus and Saturn. And while Venus is about love and pleasure and beautiful things, and Saturn is often about boundaries and restrictions, these two go actually really well together. So there could be some rewards, and of course Saturn being the ruler of this full moon, possibly there could be some rewards around how you structure love and pleasure in your life and your finances also. So we have a really key point of the year approaching, and this is an upcoming conjunction between Uranus and the eclipse point, the North Node in Taurus, and Mars. Okay, and at the time of the full moon, Uranus and the North Node are in trine to the full moon and sextile to the sun. So this full moon is kicking off this theme, so I'm going to talk about that. So at the end of July, we're going to have this conjunction between Uranus, the North Node or the eclipse point, and Mars, and all of those will be coming together in the sign of Taurus. And Taurus is an important sign for us this year because of the eclipses in that sign. Okay, so if we think of Taurus as about Papatuanuku, the earth, and all the tangible goodness, the material blessings that we receive from earth, so that includes our food and also by extension then our money systems, our finances, and any goodness that does come from the earth. Uranus is in the sign of Taurus for 7 years, and it's working its way to bring more freedom and changes and innovation with new technologies to the matters of Taurus, so things like food and financial systems. And we have the eclipse point in Taurus also for 18 months, and eclipses can bring sudden changes and disruptions that feel like there's a sense of destiny or karmic familiarity about them even. And Mars is coming along to trigger these two. So Mars, that also loves freedom and taking initiative, being bold and determined and fighting for what it believes in. Uranus conjunct the North Node on the 27th of July, coming exact. And then Mars comes along to join them on the 7th of August. And if we think about Taurus again as Papa Tuanuku, our earth that we need to care for, there could be something like seismic events, there could be something like disruptions to food systems, to money systems. Coming closer to this conjunction at the end of July, beginning of August, I suggest that we send out love and prayers to our earth to look after the earth, and also think about new ways of doing things with our finances and our food systems that perhaps are more ethical and innovative ways to respect the earth and still feed ourselves and look after ourselves materially. Things to think about this full moon in Capricorn. What have you achieved in the last 2 weeks or 6 months or 18 months or longer through steady hard work and discipline? And if you can think of some things that you have achieved, well done. Give yourself a pat on the back for that. Time to review the structures in your life. Are you serious enough about how you organize important things in your life? Especially the things that relate to the outer world and your status and place in the outer world. Thinking of that balance between Cancer and Capricorn, home and family, and outer world status. How can you bring together these so that you have a good work-life balance, a good public life, private life balance? Thinking about Capricorn and the legacy that you might leave behind, where are you on your journey from your heritage and your whakapapa, where you came from, and what you want to leave behind in the world as you move forward in life? And thinking about possible coming disruptions, especially with food supply chains and financial systems. What can you prepare? Maybe you could buy some candles and have a few food stores available. So all the best for the Capricorn full moon, everyone. There we go, everyone. That is my video about the full moon in Capricorn that's coming up. I wish you all the best for that full moon with your reality check. Ka kite.